Welcome back. In this video, I'll be going over the subsystems and just sort of the remaining stuff in Isolated Isle that doesn't really fit in its own video, but I thought was worth talking about anyway. To start out with, I'm going to talk about the item registry system. This makes it so like food items and stuff don't stack. So basically, whenever a new food item appears in the world, it increments the score over here on the sidebar. So as you see, it is 9644. Now it's 9645. That number right there gets written onto, gets written onto the data of the food item, and that just makes it so it has a bit of unique data, so it cannot stack with any other food item. Now this doesn't work for the items that we use for crafting. So basically all the resources have to be items that normally do not stack in the game, like furnace minecarts, fish buckets, stuff like that. We have a list. I have saddles, a lot of transportation stuff. And that's just because if an item has any data on it at all, it will not be accepted by the autofill for crafting. So as you can see, I do have 2 sticks in here, 2 minecarts, because, you know, unstackable item, but they don't go into the actual crafting UI. So that's kind of a problem. If I just give myself 2 minecarts with no data, it'll then just autofill. These down here won't ever be accepted by it. So that's kind of why we needed to do that. Now, this item registry system basically just executes on all items that don't have a tag every tick. It's not the most optimized thing in the world, but it works, and there's not really that many entities in this map that we have to worry about anyway, so there's not much in general we have to worry about. I'm going to give myself some cod buckets, and we're going to head up to this level over here and talk about some other stuff. The item registry system isn't just used to put random, or not really random data, but put just data onto food items. It's also used to trigger functions. So I'm going to build a flint axe. Also, these can be used to craft, but you have to drag them in manually. So that's why we ended up not doing it. So the item registry system also is used to trigger functions on items. Whenever you mine a oak log, or in this case a diamond block, because, you know, this map has to make sense and be logical, oak logs are diamond blocks, that is just so we have sort of a nice feeling, or not really a nice feeling, but so we can have trees that take a while to mine. So what we ended up having to do is make the axes actually pickaxes. And as you can see, the can break is oak log and chest. We did some relaying stuff for that. But the issue with this is blocks, when mined with a pickaxe, or mined with a tool that does not allow the item to drop normally, it will not drop the item, obviously. I was under the assumption that it was in the loot table with like a match tool predicate or something, but it was not. And that means whenever you mine a tree with a stone axe, I have to do a raycast to find the tree that you broke. So that was kind of an annoyance, and that also means that I have to disable the raycast whenever you deal damage to something using the stone axe, because people were during playtesting, people were under the assumption that axes and what's not actually did more damage, and as you can see, they do not. They only do 1 attack damage, so you can't just whack things with axes, because we wanted resources to be a little bit more expendable. We found that flint, if you didn't end up, the swords in this are actually stone swords are golden swords, and iron swords are wooden swords, but they have their stats boosted. Because we wanted the swords to have lower durability, because we wanted people to use more resources, because otherwise iron and flint are generally not, you just sort of get a few at the start of the run. And I mean, you kind of still do like the speed run route in general does, and if you enchant your tool often, then it'll repair itself, but having the low durability sort of incentivizes you to repair your tool often. So I had to disable the raycast because it was killing performance dramatically during playtests. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Also, the reason we did stone and iron pickaxes for these is because the diamond pickaxe is already used to mine iron ore. Again, if you've played this map, you've probably realized that mining iron ore takes a really long time, and that is because iron ore is actually just obsidian. And that's just for game balance reasons, so iron takes a while to get and what's not. But yeah, that's sort of the rest of the tech I wanted to address in this map. I might be making a video detailing sort of every mechanic in this game gameplay-wise, like how they all work together and just the miscellaneous information, but also we're just working on a spreadsheet about all the data on this, so I don't know what I'll end up doing. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to address. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch y'all next time.